Hi everyone, my name is Carly Kraft, and here is my presentation on my future the next 2 to 5 years. All right, I want to start off here with some relevant professional organizations. The first one that stood out to me was the National Association for the Education of Young Children. I'm going to zone in on their collective vision here. It's that all young children thrive and learn in a society dedicated to ensuring they reach their full potential. I couldn't agree with more with this statement. This is what really drew me to this organization. I think if we hold children to high expectations, they truly can meet them. And so it's important that we have the resources that we need in order to be able to do so. The next organization that I want to highlight is the Association for Childhood Education International. This was something that stood out to me because I had the experience of teaching at an international school located in Spain. I love learning about international learning and how it connects across different countries. So I think being involved in a professional organization that focuses on that is something that I'm definitely interested in. They also really put a highlight on how children are the hope for our future, and that's children around the world, not just children here in America. Finally, I also wanted to highlight the American Federation of Teachers. I thought about highlighting this just because I'm not sure where my future leads. Right now, I'm currently working in independent schools, and this would be something that I would possibly join if I worked in a public school, but I love that John Dewey and Albert Einstein were both members, and so that's kind of what draws me into the organization. Focusing now on major scholarly journals, the first one I'm going to highlight is the Early Childhood Education Journal. I love this one because it really centers around an array of topics, specifically social, physical, emotional, and intellectual development. I think that blending all of these is really important when we're thinking about a child in the classroom. We need to be able to focus on their social development, their physical, their emotional, and their intellectual. This journal also really blends theory, research, and practice all together, which, we shouldn't really be doing things in our classroom that don't have things to back them up. So research and theory to back it up. Next, I want to talk about the elementary school journal. This one I am interested in because it highlights child development, child psychology, and sociology, all in relation to school learning and teaching. I was a psychology major in college, along with elementary education. I think that we can learn so much from the psychology side of things. So this journal could really teach me so much and what I can do in my classroom. I also think it's important to highlight that it covers the latest research, which is important. Okay, future potential career opportunities. The first one that I'm thinking of is possibly kind of switching up where I am now. I'm in an independent school. I have been for the past 3 years. Maybe I want to consider a public school or a charter school. So I found this New York City public school listing. I also would consider being a special education teacher. It's something that I hold near and dear to my heart as I grew up with my childhood best friend who had an exceptionality, and I was just always amazed by her teachers that supported her. And so I would love to be able to do that for other students as well. And then finally, thinking less about education and more about my love for soccer. I have coached soccer part-time for a few years, but figuring out if I can make that more of a full-time head soccer position, I think that would be super interesting. Finally, just touching on leadership skills and knowledge, I think that as a teacher, we all are leaders. You have to be a leader. In your classroom, you're leading however many students you are, but there's so many more ways that we can be a leader as well. And that's within our school and within the greater world of education. So no matter what age you are, there's always times to be a leader and find our way, but there's always times to be a learner too. So balancing being that leader and learner, I think, is something that's really important in the world of education. So thank you for listening to my presentation. That's it for now.